things of existence can be regarded as three very soon. Abhidhamma is very, very interesting. So I think it is the most interesting subject in the world. And also it is the most beneficial. And I am sure you enjoy these Abhidhamma lectures. And you know, the Buddha said, the taste of the Dhamma excels all the taste. That's true. No? So when you understand the teachings of the Buddha, you will get appreciation, you will have the joy and happiness, and you will find the taste really excels all other taste. I find it myself. I find myself. No? So we should thank Subandhyaya Buddha Association to arrange our Abhidhamma lectures starting from today. So we will go on for 9 days. So today, because of the heavy rain and the heavy traffic, and my first experience with this heavy traffic today, so it takes me and Mr. Koo, he took me from the place I'm staying. So we took 3 hours to come to here. 3 hours. So he's supposed to take me to dinner first and go on without dinner. with an empty stomach. So some of you would have to go without dinner like me, I think. So we are supposed to do for 2 hours. I think you can stand for that. Now, Abhidhamma. We have some introduction here, the Abhidhamma. So, the Abhi, in Pali, it means profound, excellent, or sublime. So the Dhamma is the teaching of the Buddha, or you can also regard it as the natural truths, or the natural realities. So, the Abhidhamma is the profound and excellent teaching of the Buddha. And it's used to be known as the higher teaching of the Buddha. Now, all the teachings of the Buddha are collected into 3 collections we call Tipitaka. Tipitaka. So you'll be familiar with the 3 Tipitakas. The first we call it a Suttanta Pitaka. So in the Suttanta Pitaka, the Buddha used the common vocabulary to explain his doctrines to various listeners who has different capacities for understanding the Dhamma. So, because he used the common vocabulary, it is known as the conventional teaching of the Buddha. The conventional teaching of the Buddha. So, we can easily understand the Suttanta Pitaka. Actually, all his discourses that he gave to various persons, including the Devas, like the Mangala Sutta, he actually taught to the Devas. So all those discourses that he gave in the human world belong to this Suttanta Pitaka. Then we have the Vinaya Pitaka. In this he used his authority to lay down rules and regulations for bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So bhikkhunis are not the nuns. No, they are the female bhikkhus. They are the female bhikkhus. So these rules and regulations, they lead to good conduct for these bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So they are worthy of veneration by men and gods. Then we have Abhidhamma Pitaka. So in the Abhidhamma Pitaka, he teach about the ultimate realities. Or in other words, he analyzed all the psychophysical phenomena in the universe into the ultimate realities, and he teach these ultimate realities in full, so without any regard to the capacity of understanding of the listeners. And of course, this Abhidhamma Pitaka is expounded by the Buddha in Taotim's heaven. In Taotim's heaven. So, when the Buddha undertook insight meditation on the night when he was going to be enlightened, fully enlightened as the Buddha, so at that time he has already analyzed this body and mind into the ultimate realities. So because he could analyze the psychophysical phenomena into ultimate realities, he can perform the insight meditation we call the Vipassana, and he can find out the causal relations that you know as dependent arising, paticca samuppada, and from then he can understand the Four Noble Truths. So after then he become enlightened. Enlightened. So in Abhidhamma, the Buddha, he taught about the ultimate realities that make up all these psychophysical phenomena in the world. So when he analyzed all the things into ultimate realities, so we come to know what are the ultimate realities that really exist in the universe. And also in this Abhidhamma, he also revealed the universal truths, like the Four Noble Truths, which are regarded as the highest truths in the world, because by understanding the Four Noble Truths, you can eliminate all the mental defilements, and you become liberated from all suffering, and you become the noblest person we call Arahat. So after eliminating all those defilements, the Buddha attained the supreme omniscience. We call in Pali Sabbinyutta Jnana, the omniscience. So when we study Abhidhamma, we can understand the Buddha's omniscience. So how great is his wisdom? So we also have the teaching of the Buddha. He said, those who understand the Dhamma will understand the Buddha. So, when we understand the Dhamma, we shall understand the Buddha better. Now, we also call the Buddha Abhidhamma as the Buddha's supreme philosophy, because he reveals all the ultimate realities and universal truths in the Abhidhamma. So philosophy means the love of truths, the love of truths. The philosophers, they love truths, and they search for truths. But I think they do not find the ultimate natural truths. Just like Socrates, he said that he devoted his life to the search for truths, because he believed that once you know the truths, you will enjoy all the virtues of the truth. So, but he admits that all he knows is that he knows nothing. So he say, all I know is that I know nothing. He is a wise man because he knows that he knows nothing. So you have to call him a wise man. So actually Socrates is a contemporary with the Buddha. But it seems the Western philosophers, like with the exception of a few, like Schopenhauer, he studied Buddhism. So his philosophy is actually based on the teachings of the Buddha. So very few philosophers, they study or understand the Buddha's teaching. So, since the Abhidhamma reveals all these universal truths, which we can say they are true forever. So we can regard the Abhidhamma as the supreme philosophy. And also, the Abhidhamma is known as the supreme psychology of the Buddha, because he analyzed and described the mind in detail. So again here, so psychologists, they are supposed to know about the mind. They are the person who study the mind. But they must admit, up till now, they do not see the mind yet. They do not see the mind yet. So there's no scientific instruments up till now by which you can detect the mind. But psychologists know the mind is most powerful. They know that the mind is very, very powerful. So they said the power of the mind is infinite. So the mind is all powerful, and it can bring about everything that if you sincerely believe that you can achieve it. So, though they say that they do not know what the mind really is, but in the case of the Buddha, he knows the mind better than all the psychologists, because he can see the mind very vividly, and he can analyze the mind, so he can find out what are those defilements that defile the mind, that make the mind base, wicked, and suffering. And he also knows how to eliminate those defilements to purify the mind. So once you can purify your mind, you can enjoy peace and happiness right away. So in the insight meditation, you go up till the total purity of the mind. So when you can eliminate all those defilements, your mind will be totally pure. And at that time, you can enjoy the peace of Nibbana as much as you like. So we should rightly call the Abhidhamma as the supreme psychology of the Buddha. So in the Goenger's report, he talked about a psychologist in Paris. So that psychologist, he studied the latest methods of psychology, especially in psychiatrists. He came back to Paris. He opened a clinic, very successful. So another clinic. So he had been devoting most of his time to these clinics. Of course, he is earning a lot of money, but he lost his temper. He lost his temper. So he could not get well with his family, even with his wife and children. It seemed to be shouting all of them. So he becomes very, very short-tempered. So he found that he needs some cure. So there's some mental ailment in him, and he is a psychiatrist, but he cannot cure himself. So he went for 10 days retreat at Goenka Center, and he admitted that all the psychology that he knew is very little compared to the psychology of the Buddha, he said. So he got cured from there, from that 10 days meditation. Well, and we also call the Buddha's Abhidhamma as the mental science, because the Buddha analyzed mind and matter into ultimate indivisible entities very, very scientifically to understand the true nature of all things and all beings. Well, can we get the next? That is a little introduction about the Abhidhamma that you are going to study. So you can feel that, Abhidhamma is very, very profound. No, it is actually superior than the modern philosophy, modern psychology, and even science. Cannot match with the Buddha's teaching. Now we'll go to the next. So here, I think we have, this is actually the truth or reality. Now, in Abhidhamma, the Buddha talks about two kinds of truth that we should know. And the first kind of truth is called conventional truth or apparent reality. In Pali, we call samuti sakya, or panyati. So these are the conventional realities. They are the reference of ordinary conceptual thought and conventional modes of expression. They refer to things which people generally think to really exist, and to the names given to these things, so that they can be referred to in speech or in communication. They include all living beings, all inanimate things, and the names given to designate these things. Now, some examples are like the man, woman, dog, cat, house, car, etc. So they are apparent realities. Though they seem to exist, they do not really exist, because they just represent conceptual thought, and they can be divided into similar things or entities. Well, I think you need some explanation here. So you will need explanation now. Now what the Buddha said, what we think that really exists in this world do not really exist. Do not really exist. So we think, I exist. Men, women, they exist. And the tables and the buildings, they exist. That's what we think. But the Buddha said they don't really exist. They don't really exist. And we give names to refer to these things. So you will call me a human being, and you will call me a man. And now, since you know my name, you will also call me Dr. Mon. So, you identify man, Dr. Mon, with myself. Since you can see me, and you can come and touch me, So you will say, oh, Dr. Mon, he is a man, he really exists. He is teaching us Abhidhamma now. That's what you think. But the Buddha said, no, the names are just panyati. No, panyati means just, they are the given names. So you can choose any name not to designate a person. Actually, when I was born, my father, he gave me the name, my first name is Toshe. But when I came to the university, I didn't like that name. That name is very, it looks like, it's not, sounds well, so I changed my name. So I took the Mehm, so I gave myself. So you see, in various languages, we have different vocabularies to refer to a single thing. So since these words, these names, can be chosen by will, would you say they really exist in nature? Or they are invented by you? No, they are just invented by you. They do not really exist in nature. And how about that person? That Dr. Mon. When I say, I do not really exist. So would you agree with me? Would you agree with me? No. So you can come. You just show which is Dr. Mon. Which is Dr. Mon? Which is the man that you say it is Dr. Mon? So you will come and you say, oh, this is Dr. Mon, you will say. Well, do you mean my clothing are Dr. Mon? So I can take off my clothes and just leave it on the table? That is not Dr. Mon. No, it's not Dr. Mon. So you may come, oh, this is Dr. Mon. No, you mean the hair is Dr. Mon. So I can cut the hair and just leave there. It is no longer Dr. Mon. So the Buddha said, we can analyze a person. First into 32 parts, he say, like the head hair, body hair, the nails, the teeth, the skin, the flesh, the bones, the blood, the liver, the heart, the lungs. So you divide, and you analyze me, you dissect me, and put these things apart. So you will get 32 heaps of these body parts, body organs. Which part you will call Dr. Mon? No. So when you analyze like that, there's no man, no Dr. Mon. And again, that hair, the skin, the flesh, the bones, do they really exist? Well, when you cremate a corpse, it's turned to ash. So when it comes to ash, again you say, there's no blood, no flesh, no skin. So even that ash, you can dissolve in water and nothing remains.
Car owner, please move your car. You're blocking a lot of people. AEP 9921. AEP 9921.
So, when I think the Buddha's philosophy is very, very good. Like for example, in science, we know that according to our vision, we say now the earth is round and the earth is stationary, and the sun and the moon are revolving around the earth. That's what we feel. That's what we think. But science tells us today, the earth is not flat, it is round. It is not stationary, it is moving, not at high speed, in space, and it is going around the sun. The sun is stationary. The earth is going around the sun. But according to our vision, it's just the opposite. So, there you can see, though No, there's a saying, seeing is believing. So seeing can be deceiving. Seeing can be deceiving. No? So you will find the same thing, no, in science also. Now science also try to analyze all things in the universe. Now science, they also analyze. So they want to know the basic fundamental things. So in science, when they analyze, they say that the basic fundamental thing is matter and energy. That's what science knows. Now, all the things that occupy space, that has the body, so we call it matter. No, we call it matter. And energy does not occupy space. But it is shapeless, formless. But we know the existence of energy by its properties. Not like the sound energy now. You can hear my voice because of that sound energy. So we know there's a light energy. And because of electric energy, now the light is on and the fan is turning. So we have to accept that these energies also exist. And when you come to the 20th century, that great scientist, we call Einstein. So Einstein said matter can be converted into energy. Energy can be converted into matter. So that means matter and energy are the same. So when you analyze matter into energy, so everything disappears. There's nothing left, only energy. Various forms of energy will be left. So the same thing now, the Buddha. He is going to analyze all the things in the world, so into we shall call them the ultimate truth or the ultimate reality. We shall call it that's called the Paramattha Satya. Paramattha means ultimate, ultimate. Satya is the truth. So we can just call the Paramattha, that is ultimate thing. Now the ultimate realities are entities that really exist by reason of their own intrinsic nature. They are the final irreducible components of existence. Now, when the Buddha, I think you have to change it. So we will talk about this King Milanda and Reverend Nagasena. Well, I would talk a little bit about this. So, I think it is about wait a minute. About the 5th century, I think, this King Milanda is a very, very learned person. And Reverend Nagasena, he is a very learned Arahat. So, King Milanda, he came to ask questions to Reverend Nagasena. First, the King Milanda asked the Reverend Nagasena, now, by what name should I call you? Then Reverend Nagasena said, well, there's no person to have a name. And this person and name do not really exist. But my companions, they know me. They used to call me as Nagasena. That is just a name. It does not represent any person or being. So the king said, well, in that case, when we offer the 4 requisites to you, who received these requisites? Since you yourself received these requisites, so you must really exist. So the person must really exist, and Nagasena must exist. So being a monk, why did you say lies? So Reverend Nagasena asked King Milanda, now it's the noontime that you came to this monastery. How did you come? Did you come on foot or by chariot? Oh, I came by chariot. In that case, no, which is the chariot? Is the horse the chariot? No. Is the wheel of the is you call the chariot? No. Is the axle the chariot? No. Is the carriage the chariot? No. Well, you say you come by chariot, and now I ask you to show me which is a chariot, and now you cannot show me which is a chariot. Being a king, why did you say lies? So now the king said, oh, of course, the horse, the wheel, the axle, the carriage, individually, they do not represent the chariot. But when they are put together, well, we call it the chariot. So, well, as you understand the chariot, so you should understand a person or Nagasena in that way. So I think if we go to the ultimate realities, it will become more clear. It become more clear. So we'll go to the next. Now, these ultimate realities, when we analyze a person, into the ultimate basic things, then we will get these ultimate realities. Now these ultimate realities, the entities, which result from a correctly performed analysis of psychophysical phenomena, they cannot be further reduced to simpler entities. They can be neither created nor destroyed. They really exist in nature and hold on their characteristics till they perished. They can stand the test or investigation by any method about their reality and real existence. So when we say the ultimate realities, we should know that they really exist in nature. So these ultimate realities, they really exist in nature. And each ultimate reality will have its own characteristic. And it will never give away this characteristic. It will hold on this characteristic till it perishes. So that means it will not change to another thing. It will always be this thing, so long as it exists. And you can investigate about its actual existence by any method that you want to use. Now, what are these ultimate realities? So the Buddha said there are four. Basically, there are four types of ultimate realities. Now, the first one is citta. So in Pali, I pronounce it. So when you put the T there, it's become chit, citta, citta, citta. So it is consciousness or awareness of a sense object. Citta is that which cognizes. Which cognizes means which knows an object, and it is the process of cognizing an object. Since every living being, from tiny insects to great Brahmas, is aware of sense objects, there is citta in all living beings. Well, this citta is what we usually call the mind. So we say, no, we have a mind and body. We have a mind and body. And this mind can be aware of various sense objects. Now you look at me, by looking at my appearance, you know I am a man and I am Dr. Mon. Now you hear my voice and you understand what I am saying. Now about the smell, whether it's pleasant smelling or bad smelling, you know it. And you also know the touch, the taste. So there's something in you by which you know the sense object. And we call that chaita. We call that chaita. No? So that consciousness of the senses or awareness of the senses is called the chaita. So by that means, no, you can see chaita is not a living being. No? So you should not misunderstand it as the soul. Now in some religion, they think that there's a soul exists in us. And it is the soul that understands these things, they say. But they say the soul is permanent. No, the soul is permanent. It will never perish. Even if this body disintegrates, the soul will get out to a new body. That's what they say. So the Buddha's chaita is not the soul. It's not the soul. So in order to distinguish from a living being, we say it is just the process of cognizing an object. It's just understanding, or the process of understanding the object. It is not a living entity, by itself. It's not the soul. And it is not permanent. It is not permanent. You will find out later on. It arises and dissolves very rapidly, according to the Abhidhamma. So, since we can see even a small ant, they can be aware of the sense objects. So we should say they have consciousness, or they have the chaita. So every living being, since they are aware of sense objects, can we say they possess consciousness? Consciousness exists in them. So in Pali, I think, it is better to use the Pali word chaita, to designate this ultimate entity. So we call it consciousness. So when you say consciousness, just understanding or awareness of its sense object. So it may not refer to a specific entity. So when you say chaita, so it is good. I personally, I prefer to retain the Pali words, because you will find later on the Pali word, they can have various meanings, and they cannot be represented by a single English word. English words. So in that case, if you try to remember only by the English names, you can become complicated. You become complicated. So chaita is awareness of the sense. So you cannot deny chaita exists in you and in me. Okay? Now how about cetasika? How about the cetasika? Now let's see. The cetasika is mental factor or mental concomitant. So when we say concomitant, this entity, it arises together with the mind, with the chaita. It is a component of the mind. So a cetasika arises and dissolves together with the chaita. It depends on the chaita for its arising, and assists or influences the chaita by its own function and characteristic. There are 52 cetasikas with different characteristics and different functions. Now some common ones are, I think you'll be familiar with this 6. We say lopa. Lopa. So here, when we try to translate it, I think the greed is the nearest one. But in sometimes, craving would be a better translation. And sometimes we would say attachment would be suitable. So we give various meanings of lopa here. Now lopa, greed, craving or attachment. So whenever we come across sense objects, pleasant, agreeable, desirable sense objects, what happens? You want to get it, you want to possess it. No? So when you say, beautiful, latest model car, Toyota Land Cruiser, oh, so beautiful, oh, how nice. So you have a desire to get it. So actually it is lopa. Lopa is arising in you. So you say, oh, the food is so pleasant, I'm so hungry, I want to eat it. So again you are having lopa there. Now when you enjoy the taste, oh, so tasty, so you like to eat more and more. So that means lopa. Lopa is there. So you enjoy the movie. Now in Myanmar nowadays, the Chinese movies are becoming very popular, especially those they have the judo ones or all those. So every family, so they are waiting for this program. Oh, as soon as that movie is screened, oh, they'll get together and have to look for it. So that means they are attached to this beautiful things. They want to observe it again and again, to enjoy it again and again. So it is the lopa. So you will see this lopa, this lopa, it is present in everybody. So long you are not an arahat yet. Now you must admit you have lopa. You must admit you have lopa. No? And that lopa, it will never give away this, this characteristic of craving or attachment. However much you get, you will crave more. The more you get, the more you wish, the more is your desire. So the greater it becomes your craving. So that is lopa. Lopa is walking in us. And actually the Buddha said that lopa is the cause of all suffering. It is the cause of all suffering. See, even this one Cetasika, very significant. Very significant. It is the second noble truth, samudaya satya. The samudaya satya, it represents the second noble truth. This lopa. So we cannot deny about the existence of lopa. But lopa may not be present in your mind all the time. The Buddha said it remains latent or it remains dormant in your mind. So it is hiding, in other words, in the mind. So it's ready to spring up as soon as you see beautiful sense objects. As soon as you see desirable things, the lopa will come up. So we cannot deny it. So wherever this lopa is present, either in a dog or in a cat or in a man or in a king, it will always have this characteristic of craving and attachment. So when you feed the dogs, if there are several dogs, the bigger ones, they will try to butt at the others, drive away the others, because it wants to eat more than others. So we can see this lopa. So maybe when you are young and your parents, say your mother, have 3 children, so she bought some cake or something like that and try to make 3 shares. So as a child, which share we are looking for? The one a little bigger one. So when we are to take, now take whatever you take, so you try to grab the bigger one. So that shows, even as a child, you have that lopa. Now, can you admit, as you grow older, is your lopa gets less or does it get more? Or does it get bigger? Is your loka is bigger or it becomes smaller? What would you say? See the people, they are running most of the time. Like in Myanmar, we walk very leisurely. We can take time easy. We can sleep as much as we like. So when I attend the university in New York, so we used to go to the university just leisurely. So the American, the co-eds, they push me up, because they are rushing all the time. Like the Japanese, with their high heel, they are running like that. So that means lopa. Lopa is activating them. They have to run, they have to walk, they have to, no time. So you can see, the lopa is in action in the whole world. So it's getting worse now. The people, they will find the situation becomes worse and worse because they do not know how to control this lopa. So if you know them, you can control. Now you know what is lopa. Now as soon as lopa is arising, you can check it. Oh, I'm having lopa now. So you can check it. It's very good. Once you know it, you can check it. That's true. When I was in the United States, so when they are doing the ball dancing, so I like to dance too. But I do not know about about different beats, different rhythms. I do not know. So I try to enroll in a class, the ball dance class, they said. So when the teacher teaches you, this is a foxtrot, or this is a tango, or this is a samba beats. So once you are taught, you know it. So you can get along with that. The same thing. So as soon as you know about this, the ultimate entities, they are influencing you in many ways, so you can control them. It's very good. Now the next one is dosa. We call it anger, hatred, ill will. So all of you are now smiling. Now if I go near you and hit your head strongly, what will happen? Oh, why do you hit me? So you will get angry. So as soon as you are insulted by someone, you can see the anger springs up. So your anger lies dormant, lies latent in your mind all the time. So as soon as you see something that you don't like it, the anger comes up. The anger comes up. So again, you cannot deny that dosa, anger, is present in your mind. So if you look at the animals, they are washed, like the dogs, the cats. So if another dog will come here, so they will come and bite. The same with the cats, they will bite. And like the tigers in the forest, so they fight with each other. They bite with each other. So that is because of that dosa. So again, we can see that dosa is present in the mind of all living beings. So only when you become a once returner, you can eliminate that dosa. Only when you become a once returner. And this moha, we call ignorance of the realities and delusion. So, again, because of that ignorance, that moha, now when you look at me, you think I am a man, I am a human being, and I'm Dr. Mehm. Because of this moha, you are ignorant of what really exists. What really exists are the Cetasikas, and later will come the Rupa. But these Ceta and Cetasikas, they are formless. They are formless, shapeless. We cannot see them with our eyes. We cannot see them with our eyes. And we will come to Rupa very soon. Again, according to the Buddha's Abhidhamma, No, rupa is formless, shapeless. Just like science say, energy is formless and shapeless. Same thing. No, everything is no form, no shape in the ultimate sense. Now we are seen as form, as shape, as man, as woman, as Dr. Mon, because of that moha. Because of that moha. No, there is we call it delusion or illusion. No, actually, no, it blinds our vision and it distorts our vision. No, it distorts our vision. Actually, you will find later on it is the worst. It is the worst mental defilement. This is the leader, this moha. Now, we also have the opposite, the chetasikas. Now, if you put A in front of lopa, we call it alopa. No, you don't pronounce alopa. You should pronounce alopa. No, alopa. So, it is the opposite of lopa, is non-greed, non-craving, non-attachment, and generosity. So, usually we have lopa. We like to accumulate as much wealth as possible. Now, when we learned the Buddha's teaching, it is noble to give away. To give away your property in donation, in charity. So many people, they give away their property. They donate even millions of dollars. Like the Food Foundation, they donated many million dollars. Why they can do that? Because of alopa. So lopa is one to grab your wealth. But there's also alopa. You can develop this alopa in you. So we call them the good qualities in a human person. These are the bad qualities or the negative qualities. So the world is in trouble nowadays because of these bad qualities influencing their mind. Now, if we can develop these good qualities, then the world will be peaceful. Will be peaceful right away. So if you have alopa, so you can give away. So the Buddha said, try to give in charity, to make dana as much as possible. By doing that, you are developing this alopa. By doing that, you can develop your alopa, then you will give more and more. You will give more and more. So, and also adosa. Adosa is the opposite of dosa. We can say hatelessness. Now, forbearance, goodwill. So this is the ill will. This is the goodwill. And loving kindness also refers to this adosa. So again, this adosa is a very, very noble quality. Noble quality. Now this dosa, when you become angry or when you hate your enemy, you want to destroy your enemy. You want to inflict on him, to kill him. So it is very violent, that dosa. Now the opposite, adosa, is very mild and gentle. Very mild and gentle. And forgiving. Even some people would come and insult you. So you smile. You can smile. He's ignorant. He's ignoring. Didn't know, so he insulted me. He tried to quarrel with me. Only fools make the quarrel. He's a fool. So I would not quarrel back. Otherwise I would become a fool like him too. So you can smile because of adosa. You can forgive other people's insult. And remember, forgiveness is divine. Forgiveness is divine. It is a very, very beautiful quality. And again, loving kindness is the most beautiful quality in the world. So these are represented by adosa. And amoha is again very wonderful. It is the opposite of moha. Moha is ignorance of the realities. And because you are ignorant, you become deluded. You have delusion. But in the case of the amoha, we call it is non-delusion, insight, or wisdom. So penetrating insight. So that wisdom, that the Buddha said, you penetrate into the ultimate realities. You know what there really exists. So the wisdom or the insight, they refer to the moha. So these are Cetasikas that arise together with the Ceta. So they can influence all of us, either for good or for bad. So we cannot deny the existence of these Cetasikas. Can you? Can you agree with me about their existence? So then we can go to the next. Okay. So we finished two ultimate realities now. Ceta, Cetasikas, and the combination of Ceta and Cetasika is called the mind. So you should understand the mind as a combination of Ceta and Cetasikas. So I also put down here. So the mind is a combination of Ceta and Ceta. Now the third ultimate reality is called Rupa. Rupa. So we translate it as matter, corporeality, or material quality. Now what is Rupa? Rupa is that which changes its state, form, or color on account of heat or cold, or other adverse or contrary conditions. For example, you have wax. So when it's cold, it is solid. When you heat it, it will melt. It turns into liquid. The same thing with ice and iron. When you heat iron, then it will melt. When you cool it down, it will solidify again. So they can change their state from liquid to solid, solid to liquid. And also they can change in color, in form or shape, so anything. So these are called the Rupa. The Buddha analyzes matter into 28 kinds. Now the four basic elements or the basic Rupas are Patavi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo. Well, I think you should know at least these four basic Rupas. Now, what is Patavi? Now, Patavi is defined as the element of extension with the characteristics of hardness and softness. So you can see this table is hard, we would say. So there is hardness here. And if you feel the water, you would say it's soft. There's softness there. Now you feel your forehead, since you have the bone here, it's hard here. But if you feel in the temple here, it's soft here. So that hardness and softness represents Patavi. So you remember, in hardness and softness, there's no shape and form. No shape and form in hardness and softness. But that hardness and softness really exist. It really exists. Right? And the next one is the Abo, the element of cohesion, with the characteristics of cohesiveness and fluidity. Well, we usually illustrate this. Say you take some dry flour. You take some dry flour. Now the particles are not sticky when it is dry. Now you try to add a cup of water that dry flour. So as soon as it becomes wet, it becomes sticky. It becomes sticky and stick together, and it becomes a lump. So you can see the cohesiveness. Because of the cohesiveness, they stick together and they get into a lump. Now you add some more water. So when it becomes thin, so it can flow. It can flow away. So that cohesiveness and fluidity represents Abo. So I usually regard this Abo as electrical energy. no, it can be identified as electrical energy. Because in science today, no, we know the combination of atoms. No, the combination of atoms into molecules and molecules into cells, no, is brought about by the attraction and repulsion of electrical energy. No? For example, in the structural atom, you have electrons revolving the nucleus, made up of protons and neutrons. See, the nucleus of the atom is positively charged. It has the protons there. So the electrons must revolve around the nucleus. No? It must revolve. It cannot stay stationary. No? It cannot remain stationary, this electron. Now, if it remains stationary, what happens? If the electrons remain stationary, what will happen? You have the positive nucleus, and the electron is negatively charged. There will be electrical attraction. So the electron will be attracted to the nucleus. So the atom will burst up. No, it cannot exist. It has to revolve. Now when it revolves, it has centrifugal force, we say. No, that try to drive it away. And that balance the electrical attraction. So it can go on, revolving stage in there. So this electron is moving all the time. That means fluidity. They have the characteristic of fluidity there. Now, when atoms combine together, like hydrogen and oxygen, the hydrogen, they have only one electron, the hydrogen. The oxygen, so there they share the electron there. Now, by sharing the electron, the hydrogen atom and oxygen atom can combine together. So, because of electrons, you get combination. That is cohesiveness. And you also have fluidity, like electricity is flowing. So, this flowing of electricity and the combination, they refer to Apa. So, you can take it as electrical energy. And about the Tejo. The Tejo, so in Pali, E, you pronounce A. Te, so Tejo. O is all. We usually pronounce all, Tejo. Now Tejo is the element of heat or heat energy with the characteristic of hotness and coolness. So it's very outstanding, very distinct. That you have the heat, has the property of coolness and hotness. Why do you have the coolness and hotness together? Like we say, because of the sun. When the sun is near to us, we feel hot. We feel hot. Like today, at noon it's quite hot because the sun is quite close to us. Now, when the sun is far away, what happens? You get the coolness. You get the coolness. So this heat energy, when heat flows into the body, we feel hot. When heat flows out of our body, we feel cold. So this heat energy, because of heat energy, you get both hotness and coolness. You can get both hotness and coolness. And remember, all these are relativity. Just like in science, they say everything is relative. When you say, oh, this table is hot, so you may be compared with your flesh. So compared to your flesh, this table is hot, we say. Now, this table, if you compare with steel, what would you say? Would you say it is, compared to steel, it is hot or soft? Then it becomes soft. Compared to steel, is softer than steel. So this softness and hotness are just relative. You should know that. That's why we give the two opposite, the meanings for that. So they represent the same thing. Like the hotness scale you put there. So we'll say, oh, the one below is softer than the one above. But it is harder than the one below it. So the same thing can be hard and soft. Compare, depending on the thing you are comparing with. So you say it has hotness and coolness. and the abo, cohesiveness and fluidity, tejo, hotness and coolness, and vayo, the element of motion or kinetic energy with the characteristics of pushing and supporting. Now, pushing and supporting. If you try to blow air into a balloon or into the football, so because of the pushing, so the ball will expand because of the pushing. Now, as you have the pushing there, you have the supporting also from the walls of the balloon there. Now, why can you sit erect now? Why can I stand erect now? Why can I stand? No, I do not fall now. No, even when I get here, I don't fall. Why? Now I can keep my hand right here. It does not fall. Why can I keep here? So you see the supporting. The supporting of wire. Because of the supporting character, I do not fall. So I can balance myself. So you can see the supporting. And why can we walk? Why can we walk? So because of the pushing, you get the motion. Because of the pushing, you get the motion. So in Abhidhamma, we say you can move because of that wire, property of wire. So there's a pushing, so you get the movement there. So, again, with comparison to science, we would say that pushing and supporting character is similar to the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy will give motion, and the potential energy that can keep you that can support you. So, when the Buddha analyzes matter into those four basic entities, Patavi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo, his method of analysis is very much different from the Greek philosophers. The Greek philosophers, in trying to find the ultimate realities, they try to think that all lives, all existence come from the earth, they say. Some say, come from water. Some say, it's come from the air or from the fire. So they take the earth, the fire, the water, and the air as the basic elements. The Greek philosophers. Now we know from the study of science, the earth is not a pure element. It is just a mixture of many things. Water is not the basic element. It is just a compound of hydrogen and oxygen. Air is also a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen. No fire. So they are not the basic thing from which existence comes from. So when the Buddha say Patavi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo, he didn't refer to the earth, the water, the fire, and the air, just like Greek philosophers. So his method of analysis is very, very scientific. Nowadays, according to science, everything is made up of atoms, according to science. Now, atoms are made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Now, when you come to protons and neutrons and electrons, they don't have any definite shape and form anymore. They are just partly energy, they say. So they become almost identical with energy, just bundle of energy, you might say. Electron, proton, neutron are just bundles of energy. Now, according to the Buddha's analysis, even that electron, the basic subatomic particle, is made up of Patavi, Abo, Tejo, and Vayo. So that means electron, protons are not the ultimate entity yet. They themselves are made up of electron, the Patavi, Abo, Tejo, Vayo. Because in electron you will have hardness and softness in there. And also the fluidity and the cohesiveness character there. Hot and cold character is present in electron. You understand my point? No, you understand my point? So the Buddha's philosophy is very deep. No, it's go very, very deep. And you should say, even now we come to the 21st century now, the science has advanced very, very much. But still, it can't go along with science. It can go along with science. Science cannot say the statement of the Buddha is wrong. They cannot say. They cannot ignore or not disregard the teaching of the Buddha. So the Buddha's teaching is very, 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 very profound. Now, the last ultimate entity is Nibbana. Nibbana. So there has been many questions. What is Nibbana? What is Nibbana? Oh, it is desirable, that Nibbana. Do you want to go to Nibbana? So if you ask a person, do you want to go to Nibbana? Okay, I will take you now. Okay, please come. So you will say, no, I don't want to go now. So what is Nibbana? So, some characteristics of Nibbana or some definition. We say it is the extinction of greed, anger, and ignorance, which are the causes of all suffering. So the Buddha explains with many, many examples that greed, anger, and ignorance are the causes of all suffering. Now, when that causes of suffering are eliminated, totally eliminated in your mind, if they never arise in your mind, they never exist in your mind. So if there's no causes of suffering, would there be any suffering? So if there's no cause, there will be no effect. No? So if the causes of suffering are eliminated, suffering is also eliminated. Then what will exist in your mind? If no suffering exists in your mind, then what will exist in your mind? So we say peace and happiness. No will exist in your mind. That's Nibbana. They say it is Nibbana. No? And another way, the Buddha also say greed, anger, and ignorance. They are the worst worldly fires, they say. They are burning us all the time. Though we cannot experience about their burning. But we can see when we get angry, our heart beats faster. So your blood go rush through all your body. So you can feel the hotness there. So it is burning. That anger is burning. So when these fires are totally extinguished, then you have total peace and happiness. And another one, the emancipation from the entanglement of craving. Craving or lopa or tanha. Tanha, actually the craving stands for tanha. And the endless cycle of birth and death called samsara. So Nibbana is the emancipation from the entanglement of craving. And again, that craving is the cause of suffering. So when you can emancipate or escape from that influence of tanha, that means you escape, you become totally free from craving or tanha or lopa. Then it comes to the same thing here. All the causes of suffering is eliminated at that time. So you will enjoy total peace and happiness again. So that is called Nibbana. And the next one, it is the everlasting peace and supreme happiness that can be experienced in this very existence. So to the question, does Nibbana really exist? So we say you can experience right now in this very existence. So here again the teachings of Buddha is very different from other teachings. He wouldn't say oh, if you follow this, you will enjoy Nibbana in the next existence. He didn't say that. No? You can enjoy right now. No? So you can try it. No? So it's guarantee. It's guarantee. You just try it and you can experience by yourself. You can experience by yourself. And again, this Nibbana as an ultimate reality or a paramattha, it always exists in nature. It is always present, but we cannot see it because of ignorance. No? Ignorance and the lopa dosa, the defilement. So the Buddha gave the comparison. Now on the full moon night, isn't the moon on the sky? On the full moon night, the moon must be present in the sky. But when you have thick layers of clouds, you cannot see the moon. Now just because you cannot see the moon, would you say the moon is does not exist? Can you say the moon does not exist? Just because you cannot see it. But we know it must exist. No, but we cannot see it. Now if the wind blows away these layers of clouds, one layer after another, when all the clouds has been cleared away, then you will see the full moon very vividly. The same thing. So this lopa dosa moha, they are just like clouds. They are sheltering Nibbana to drive them away. As soon as you can drive them away, you will see Nibbana. And the Buddha gave the method. He didn't just mention that, he also pointed out the method how you can drive away this lopa dosa moha and experience Nibbana right away. So, do you agree that its four ultimate realities really exist? So if I ask you, what are the ultimate realities that exist in a human being? What would be your answer? Would you say all the four ultimate entities exist in us? I think you should answer only three. The citta, cetasika, rupa exists in you. But this Nibbana, you cannot say it exists in you. Now you go to the next. We have to go to the next one, I think. Still, we have one more. A little lower. Can you lower it a little bit? Yes. So we call Nibbana supramundane. In Pali we say lokuttara. Lokuttara, supramundane. That is beyond the mundane world of 31 planes of existence. It always exists as a paramanta, and it can be realized by the knowledge of the four parts. That is mekka jnana, and the four fruits is phala jnana. So this Nibbana, it can be realized. It can be seen, it can be observed, but not with our naked eye. You have to see with some power which can observe it. So when the medical doctors say, oh, there are billions of bacteria in your blood, well, we cannot see those bacteria with the naked eye. You have to look under the microscope in order to see the bacteria. The same thing, you cannot see Nibbana with this eye, but you can see them with the mekka jnana or phala jnana. So Nibbana is regarded as supramundane, that is beyond the mundane world. The mundane world is the 31 planes of existence. It's called the mundane world. So since it's supramundane, it is not associated with nama and rupa. But we can experience when the lopa dosa is totally eliminated in us. So the best thing is to undertake the noble practice and experience that nibbana by yourself. So once you can experience, you can judge whether the Buddha's teaching is correct or not. So it is supposed to be the most supreme, peace and happiness. So many Aryas, we call noble persons, they could experience this, the nibbana bliss, and nobody give up that bliss anymore. So we can agree with the Buddha that nibbana is the highest peace and everlasting peace. Now we have some note here. So Chaita and Citta seekers, both of them are aware of the senses, and they are always bent towards the senses in order to observe the senses. So they are collectively called nama. So you should be familiar with this word, nama. Nama. So it refers to Citta and Citta seeker. And it can be that the mind can be taken as the nama too. So we say only nama rupa exists in a person. So only nama rupa. Not only in a single person, in all the universe, in the whole universe, only nama rupa exists, according to the Buddha's philosophy. Remember, this statement is much, much comprehensive than the science statement. According to science, only matter and energy exist. And that matter and energy belongs to rupa. It is included in rupa. So that rupa comprises the matter and energy known to science. But even up to now, science do not know about the existence of the mind. The existence of the mind. There's no instrument. You might ask, why did the Buddha know? Even though scientists do not know the mind, how come that the Buddha could know this? Well, not only the Buddha, you yourself can see your mind, can analyze your mind into Citta and Citta seekers. And this has been done in insight meditation. And we have meditation centers in Myanmar nowadays. We call International Buddha Sasana Center in Myanmar, where they teach you how to observe these Citta seekers, and ultimate rupas that are arising and dissolving in you. So, all the teachings of Buddha can be verified by your own experience. So, we should not doubt about the reality of this teaching. So, there's very would you say to see things as they really are in Vipassana means to see all animate and inanimate things as being compounded with ultimate realities. But in our daily life, we must employ conventional realities and conventional truths to communicate with one another. Now you know about two types of truth now. What are they, the two types of truth? So in English you just say conventional truth, samuti satcha, and the ultimate truth, paramattha satcha. No, there's a difference between the two. The ultimate truth or ultimate realities, they really exist in nature, but they are formless and shapeless. So we cannot observe them with our naked eye. We cannot observe them. So we cannot see them. What we can see is the conventional truths. We can see living beings. We can see inanimate things. We think they really exist. But when you analyze them, they do not really exist. You can't know. So they seem to exist, but they do not really exist. In the ultimate sense, we mean. Only in the ultimate sense. You might say, oh, a being or a man does not exist. But, no, the Buddha said, though this conventional truth, no, they do not really exist, you should not ignore them. You should not ignore them. You should not take that, oh, a man does not exist, so his properties do not exist, so I can take his properties, so I can take his wife. No, so you should not do that. Since the man does not exist, I can kill him. It's not murder, you would say, but it would be murder if you kill. No, so you should not ignore these conventional things. No, just like science says the man exists, though no, science knows that the man is compounded with atoms. No, in the ultimate sense, only electrons, protons, and neutrons exist in the whole universe, in every person. But we should not deny the existence of the living beings also. The same also. Because of this, the combination and cause-effect relation, so this arises. So you should not ignore them. So we have a good saying of the Reverend Sayadaw, the chief abbot, Kanti Sayadaw, we say, who is given the title Abhidhamma Maharatha Guru. That's the highest title in Myanmar, conferred to the chief abbots. Now what he says is very good. When you speak in terms of conventional truths, because you have to use the names of all these things and beings in order to speak to one another. So we have to use these conventional truths or the names of these things in our communication. But you must know what you speak in terms of ultimate truths. So though you say, I, you, so you refer that as a person, you should know that, I'm made up of only the ultimate realities. In the ultimate sense, I do not exist. A man do not exist. No? So if you can have that attitude, then you will not be selfish. No, you can forgive other people's insults. When you say, there's no man exists and I do not exist, so he is insulting no one. Since I do not exist, he is insulting no one. So you can forgive him. You can forgive him. So that selflessness is very, very noble attitude. To be selfish is very wicked and low. So actually the Buddha analyzed into these ultimate realities to give us the correct view of the correct understanding of these living the psychophysical phenomena, and to get rid of that wrong view of we call personality belief. Personality belief. It's in Pali we call Sakkaya Ditthi. So long you have that personal belief, you believe I exist, my wife and my children exist, my properties exist. You attach to yourself and you attach to these things. So the Buddha said, you have the ticket to go to hell. So long you have that personal belief, you cannot escape from hell. You cannot escape from hell. So, the first thing in life is to get rid of that personal belief, so that we can be always free from those being reborn in hell. So we say to get the doors of the hell closed forever for us. To close the doors of the hell and the woeful abodes forever, you must get rid of that personal belief. So for that, this understanding is very important. Now, we shall go to the chapter 1. So I brought 60 copies of my book. Those who would like to get them, you can get from the office. I brought 60 books. And also one of our Dhamma friend, Reverend Hui Zing, and he is publishing, trying to print 1,000 copies of this. And he said the books will be available the day after tomorrow, he said. But here, not the day they print out the first chapter. No, the first chapter is being printed and being distributed to you. So you can look at that first chapter. So can I go on for half an hour more? So I think we should take 2 hours. It's supposed to be 2 hours. No? Can you? So I think so to get some now on page 20 actually. So as a chapter 1 is on Chaitas. Now, when we say Chaita, yes, you can turn it off now. When we say Chaita, what is Chaita? So remember, Chaita is consciousness of the senses or awareness of the senses. So by that meaning, there's only one kind of Chaita in the whole universe. That means the Chaita in every living being will have this characteristic of awareness of the senses. So by planes that are included in the Kama Loka or the sense sphere. So these beings in these Kama Loka, they enjoy the sense pleasure. They enjoy the sense pleasure. That is called Kama. Kama, so they enjoy the senses. So we call them, the sense sphere. So these Chaitas, they arise mostly in this Kama sphere. But you should know that they also arise in other spheres also, but not as frequently as in the Kama Loka, right? Now the number 2 is Rupa Vachara Chaitas. Their Rupa are Vachara. Consciousness mostly experienced in the fine material sphere, Rupa Loka. So there are 16 planes. This refers to the 16 planes inhabited by Rupa Brahmas. The Rupa Brahmas, they have body and mind, but their body is made up of very fine material. So we call them fine material sphere. We cannot see with our eyes. They are very fine. So these are the Chaitas that arise mostly in these Rupa Brahmas. Number 3 is Arupa Vachara Chaitas. Consciousness mostly experienced in the immaterial sphere. So they refer to the 4 Arupa planes, where you have the Arupa Brahmas. Those Arupa Brahmas, they don't have body. They have only mind. So no body there. So these are the Chaitas that arise in them, mostly. And number 4 is Lokotara Chaitas. Consciousness experienced in the supramundane or transcendental level, or those Chaitas that can realize Nibbana. That can realize Nibbana, this Lokotara Chaita. So we shall go to the first class on page 21. We call Kama Vachara Chaitas. Now there are 54 Kama Vachara Chaitas, which may be divided into 3 classes. Akusala Chaitas. Now akusala, we say here immoral consciousness. So you can also say unwholesome consciousness. Unwholesome or immoral consciousness. So these Chaitas are not moral. They break the moral rules, actually. So you have the wrong conduct because of this. You perform wicked things. So akusala. Akusala means immoral and unwholesome. Usually when we say it is unwholesome, it is blameworthy. It is blameworthy. It could be blamed by the wise. And usually, by this chaita, someone may be inflicted. Some harm is done towards somebody. So it is unwholesome, because it causes harm to somebody. And also it will bear bad results. It will bear bad results. And when we understand further, they leave behind akusala karma, unwholesome karma. That will make us to be reborn in woeful abodes. Woeful abodes. So when you grow up to that, you can agree they are immoral and unwholesome. Since they inflict some harm towards someone, either to others or to you. And you will get the bad result from that. And the worst result is being reborn in woeful abodes. Because of these chaitas, you will become wicked and you will be reborn in woeful abodes. So they are unwholesome. Just only 12. Only these 12 are unwholesome. Now, the number 2 is ahetuka chaita, rootless consciousness. And kama sobhana is the beautiful. Sobhana means beautiful. Beautiful consciousness in the sense sphere. So you will see later on this ahetuka chaitas. They are actually neutral chaitas. They will help us to be aware of the 5 senses. They will help us to be aware of the senses. And that kama sobhana, they are the beautiful consciousness that can arise in us. That can arise in us. So don't worry about this thing yet. These are just something. So we go to page 22. That is akusala chaita. Now, this immoral consciousness. So here we say akusala means immoral. People usually commit wicked or evil deeds with akusala chaita. So akusala chaitas bear bad result. Now there are 12 akusala chaitas, which are further divided into 3 classes. Now number 1 is lobha mula chaitas. Consciousness, chaita is consciousness. Mula is rooted. Mula is the root. So rooted in greed or attachment. Lobha is greed or attachment. So you would say it is a greed-rooted chaita. They are based on lobha. So whenever we come across desirable sense objects, then we crave or we desire to possess them, to get them. So at that time, the lobha mula chaitas will arise in us. The greed-rooted chaitas will arise in us. So these chaita, they have greed as their root. Just like a tree or a plant can grow from the root. Because of that, the root of lobha, that greed, rooted chaita will arise. The same thing, number 2 is dosa mula chaita, consciousness rooted in hatred or evil. Here you have dosa as the root. So whenever you are not satisfied with some condition, then you feel angry, you feel unsatisfied. So during that time, dosa mula chaita will arise in you. And number 3 is moha mula chaitas, consciousness rooted in delusion or ignorance. Now we shall go to the lobha mula chaitas. Now there are 8 of them. So we try to give them the symbols in the box there so that you can remember their names easily. So in the box there you have 4 plus sign and 4 minus sign. So these signs, they represent the 8 lobha mula chaitas. Now under the box there, we give you the direction there. The positive sign denotes somanasa sahagatam. Now that somanasa,
If you look at the meaning on the right-hand page there, you will see somanassa there. Somanassa is mentally pleasant feeling. So when you get this great rooted citta, you also experience pleasant mental feeling. Now when you get pleasant mental feeling, you will feel joyful. So, the somanassa is pleasantly mentally feeling or joyful. And sahagatam means together with or accompanied by. So, when you say somanassa sahagatam, you understand this citta is accompanied with pleasant mental feeling. And because of that pleasant mental feeling, you will feel joyful. You will feel joyful. Not just like you enjoy the movie or the songs. So there, at that time, if you feel joyful, then you will be having somanassa sahagatam, pleasant mental feeling. And the negative sign, if you look at under the table, again you have the negative sign, denotes upekha sahagatam. Now what is upekha? Again on the right, on page 23, the second line from the bottom. Upekha means indifferent or neutral feeling. So here we are going to describe, say, first three types of feeling. You have the mentally pleasant feeling. And then you will have mentally painful feeling. When you are angry, you get mentally painful feeling. Now this neutral feeling or indifferent feeling is neither pleasant nor painful. So neither pleasant nor painful. So we call it neutral feeling or indifferent feeling. So at that time you will be neither joyful nor or painful at that time. Now, so again, if you look at the box, at the bottom of the positive sign there, you get, at the top of the positive sign there, you have Ditthi Sam. Ditthi Sam actually stands for, on the top of page 23, you can see the first, the name of the citta, the name of the first citta. We call the first name Somanassa Sagatam, Ditthikata Sambayutam. So the Ditthi Sam, it refers to Ditthikata Sambayutam. Now what's the meaning of Ditthikata Sambayutam? You please look at the meaning, there. So there you can see the third line of the meaning, the Ditthi. The Ditthi is the wrong view, thinking that karma and its effect do not exist. So the basic wrong view is to be ignorant of karma, to be ignorant of karma. You think this karma and its effect does not exist. So if you have that view, during that, you are enjoying the movie. So when you are enjoying the movie, so you know you are having lopa mula citta. Greed-rooted cittas are arising in you. So if you have pleasant feeling at that time, so we say that citta, consciousness is accompanied with pleasant mental feeling. So you say somanassa sahagatam. Again, while you are observing that movie, you don't know, you don't pay any attention to karma and its result. So by reasoning like this, I am watching the movie, I am enjoying it. So at this time, lopa mula cittas will be arising. So these lopa mula cittas are immoral, unwholesome. They will bring the unwholesome karma, and that will be bad results for me. So if you can think of that, you can be aware of something like that, then we say you are having the right view about the karma and its result. But usually while we are enjoying the movie, we never pay attention to reasoning like that. So at that time we say you neglect karma and its result. So the Buddha said, your chitta is accompanied with the wrong view, ditthi. So it is called ditthikata sambayuttam. So sambayuttam is also given in the meaning, is connected with or associated with the wrong view. So your greed-rooted chitta is associated with the wrong view. So we call it ditthikata sambayuttam. And the next word is ditthikata vipayuttam. So in the next box you can see ditti weak. So ditti weak, it refers to weak is vipayuttam. So under the sambayuttam you get the vipayuttam. So it means disconnected with or not associated with. So when you are having the right view, while you are watching the movie, or you can think, I'm enjoying with the lopa mula chittas, so they will bring bad result to me. So if you can be aware of that, then you say your chitta is ditthikata vipayuttam, not associated with the wrong view, not associated with the wrong view. And about the a and sa, so you just look at the meaning. Asankharika means spontaneous, unprompted, or automatic. It refers to the fact that that chitta, that mind, that consciousness is volitionally active. Volitionally active. This volition will come later on. So it refers to another cetasika. We call volition. And that volition, they would give rise to the karma. So if your mind is spontaneous or unprompted, that means the mind is volitionally active. So you see some people's money there, the purse is being left there, so you just take it, grab it. So we say, you take other people's money, that is, you steal, with spontaneous mind. That is, your mind is volitionally active during that time. So, if your mind is volitionally active, the karma is very strong. So when it bears result, the karma will be strong if you will be reborn, say like a woeful ghost. You have to suffer for a long time. You'll be so because this karma is strong. So the Buddha also denote the volition, the condition of the volition during that time. So sometimes you don't, though you see the purse with much money in that. There's not the purse with money. It's better I take it. Then you control yourself. It's not right to take other people's purse there. It's a good chance for you. You should take it. So you try to persuade you. Then you take it. Then we say your mind is not volitionally active. So it is called sankharika. That sankharika and asankharika comes from sankhara. It derives from sankhara. That sankhara refers to volition. Volition. So when you say asankharika, volitionally active. So it's spontaneous. So you do it immediately. But if it is sasankharika, it is volitionally inactive. You have to prompt yourself, persuade yourself to take it, to commit it. So we say it is sasankharika. So here the karma would be weak. The karma that is produced would be weak. So if even it bear result, so there would be, the result would not come immediately. So it will be some delay in that because you are hesitant to take other people's property. So the result will be also hesitant. So it won't come immediately. So if, we have stories that though some people are born in hell, they have the chance to meet that we call it Yama. Yama. What do you call it? The king Yama, the king of the hell. So you can go to him and you can have the apology, something like that. And you can be, if you can remember some of your good deeds, then He can free you. But only when your deed is, your bad deed is, only you have the bad deed, that you have to suffer in hell. So that means there's some delay there. You will not be reborn immediately. And even if you are reborn in hell because of this karma, so since the karma is weak, you won't have to suffer very long there. So because of this, we have the 8 Lopa Mula Chaitas. Now we can read the names on page 23. So, Somanasa Sahagatam, Deichikata Sambayutam, Asankharikam, Ekam. Ekam at the bottom, you can see it means just one. Ekam, Eka means one. So, one chaita, that is Asankharika Ekam. Ekam means one chaita. Asankharika means not prompted or spontaneous. Deichikata Sambayutam, it means accompanied with the wrong view. Somanasa Sahagatam, it means associated or accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. So we can understand the meaning. Now please read the names then. Somanasa Sahagatam, Deichikata Sambayutam, Sasankharikam, Ekam. What is the difference between these two chaitas? Just in Asankharika and Sasankharika. One is spontaneous and one is not spontaneous. 3 and 4, we can read together. Somanasa Sahagatam, Deichikata Vipayutam, Asankharikam Ekam, Sasankharikam Ekam. So they represent these two. Now, what's the difference between the first pair and this second pair? The first pair is Deichikata Sambayutam, associated with the wrong view. So the second pair is Deichikata Vipayutam, not associated with the wrong view. Now, for the remaining 4, you just change Somanasa into Upekha. You just change Somanasa into Upekha. So you will please, let's read the name. Upekha Sahagatam, Deichikata Sambayutam, Asankharikam Ekam, Sasankharikam Ekam. And the next 2, Upekha Sahagatam, Deichikata Vipayutam, Asankharikam Ekam, and Sasankharikam Ekam. Now, these 8 Pali words, I think it's better not to remember them. So if you are to answer, you appear for the examination, Abhidhamma examination, like in Myanmar, we have the examination every year. It begins on the 21st December. So, you may be asked, say this is the complete chart on chaitas. This chart would be very, very beautiful. So, from this chart, we can see or we can review what we have just read. You have 54 Kama Vajra chaitas, the 15 Rupa Vajra chaitas, the 12 Arupa Vajra chaitas, and the 8 Lokuttara chaitas. Now, among the 54 Kama Vajra chaitas, there are 12 Akusala chaita, 18 Ahetuka chaita, and 24 Kama Sobana chaita. Again, the 12 Akusala chaitas are made up of these 3 groups. So we are concerned with the first group tonight. So if we know these 8 Lopa Mula chaitas tonight, then that would be quite a good halfway. We have made a good halfway. So tomorrow would be very easy. Now only these 8 names, so the rest will become easy. So let's try to read the 8 names from this chart, from this symbol. So if you see the positive sign, so you read it, Somanasa Sahagatam. If you see the negative sign, you read it, Upekha Sahagatam. And Deichikata Sambayutam, Deichikata Vipayutam, Asankharika, Asankharikam Ekam, or you can say Asankharika Chaita. sa sankharikam ekam. So let's try to read, no, from this chart, not from your notes. No. So let's try to see whether you can read the names. Okay, the first page. Somanasa sahakatam, Daichikata sambayutam, asankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. The next page. Somanasa sahakatam, Daichikata vipayutam, asankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. Upikha sahakatam, Daichikata sambayutam, asankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. Upikha sahakatam, Daichikata vipayutam, asankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. So, if you can read the words, now try to know the meaning of each chitta. So, actually, the meaning is given on the next page of your sheet there. Now, for number 1, we say the one consciousness, that's ekam. Now, unprompted, that is asankharikam, accompanied by joy, somanasa sagatam, and connected with wrong view, or accompanied by wrong view, Daichikata sambayutam. So, just look at here, then we can go to the next chitta. So, the next chitta would be the sasankharika chitta. So, we say one chitta, one consciousness, that is prompted, is non-spontaneous or prompted, and it is accompanied by somanasa, pleasant mental feeling, or pleasant with joy, connected with joy, accompanied with joy. And then Daichikata sambayutam, associated with the wrong view, right? And for the next pair, what would you say? The two chaitas. The first one would be asankharika, so it would be one consciousness, unprompted, and associated with joy, and also Daichikata vipayutam, not connected with the wrong view. And the next one would be the unprompted one, the prompted one. So when you come to the next four, they are associated with the neutral feeling, or we say associated with indifference. Indifference, you are neither happy nor you are not sorry for that. So you have the indifferent feeling. So you can know the meaning. You can know the meaning. Now the next thing would be the application. The application of this chitta. Now try to know when these chittas arise in you. Try to be aware of that. Now let's try to reason how often these lopa mula chittas will arise in us. Now early in the morning when you get up from bed, after washing your face, then you look into the mirror. Whom do you see in the mirror? Whom do you see in the mirror? The most beautiful lady or the most handsome gentleman there you will see. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, oh, I'm quite handsome, I'm quite beautiful. So what chitta will arise at that time? So if you appreciate yourself, you think, oh, I'm quite handsome and beautiful. So if you like yourself, you're having lopa mula chitta. So that lopa mula chitta, does it arise spontaneously or has it to be prompted? It arises spontaneously. So we say asankharika chitta. Asankharika chitta. So during that time, do you have the pleasant feeling or do you have joy? Oh, if you have joy, so it will be somanasa sahakatam. So during that time, do you reason about the karma and its result? No, so you say it's Daichikata sambayutam. So what would be the chitta? So the number 1, you can name it. Somanasa sahakatam, Daichikata sambayutam, asankharika, no, lopa mula chitta would say, no, lopa mula chitta. Now, you comb your hair, you apply the makeup and the lipsticks, so you say, oh, I'm more beautiful, more attractive now. So what would be the chitta again? So you have that same, no, somanasa sagatam lopa mula chitta again. So then after that, you change your dress. You put on the new dress. So you stand in the, no, the tall mirror there, trying to, no, to turn this side and that side. Oh, very handsome. So what chitta is getting at that time? Again, somanasa sagatam detikata samyutam asankharika chitta. So if you look at yourself, no, you appreciate yourself, but you don't feel very joyful. So at that time, what will be the chitta? So it will be upekha sahagatam. No, upekha sahagatam, detikata samyutam, asankharika chitta. Then after dressing yourself, you come down to the dining hall. Oh, no, you can see the mother. Oh, she prepares coffee for you. And with the, no, the assorted cakes, the best cake in Kuala Lumpur. So when you can get the smell, the pleasant smell, and you see those cakes. So what chitta would you have at that time? So you feel joyful. Oh, I'm going to get, some good food. So again, you have somanasa sagatam, detikata samyutam, asankharika lopamula chitta. No? So if the food is not very, very good, no, so if you enjoy it, but not, with joy, so you have upekha sagatam during that time. Now you turn on, the cassette, listen to the music. So if you like the music, you try to chant with the music. So what would be your chitta again? Again, somanasa sagatam detikata samyutam asankharika chitta. No? So if you turn on the TV, or if you look at the advertisement, oh, very beautiful TV models, or showing, oh, you appreciate, then you will get the same chitta. Now you go to work. No? So if you go with the intention of making money, so with what chitta you are going? So you again are going with lopa mula chittas. Now while you are driving there, you turn on the radio, you listen there, you are trying to enjoy it, again you are going to lopa mula chitta. Now when you return, you make a lot of money today, so with what chitta will you come back? Again with lopa mula chitta. Well, you think of buying some good food for you and for the family. So what would be the chitta while you are buying the food? Again lopa mula chitta. And when you eat them with your family, what will be the chitta? Lopa mula chitta. Now when you come back, you go back to your room now. So while you take a rest, you turn on the radio or the TV and you enjoy the movie. So what will be the chitta? So the somanasa lopa mula chitta again. Now you go to bed, you turn off the light, you go to bed, but you still think over about that movie. So you are having lopa mula chitta. So how often that lopa mula chitta arises in you? So the Buddha said, these chittas, they can arise and dissolve very, very rapidly. So in the order of 1 trillion chittas, and per wing or per snap of the hand. So while you make a wing, or you want a snap of the hand, 1 trillion chittas, 1 trillion means 1,000 billion chittas, can arise and dissolve very fast. So we can appreciate it, because in science we know that this electron is moving very fast around the nucleus. It's changing very fast. Even the rupa is changing so fast. The mind would be changing faster. So the Buddha's saying is correct. So while you're watching the movie, you are having lopa mula chitta by trillion. So, this if you know, so the Buddha said, don't take other people's property. So even while you are trying to take other people's property, so during that moment, you will have trillions of Lopamula Chitta. So trillions of that karma will be deposited in your mental stream. So these karma, they are just like the seeds of the fruits. From each seed, you can have a new plant. The same thing, from each karma, you can have a woeful existence from each karma. So, by stealing or cheating or committing rape, so you are doing so billions of the akusala karma. So you have to suffer many, many woeful existences. So if we understand these things, we'll be scared not to do the immoral things. And we'll try to check ourselves from getting this Lopamula Chittas all the time. So, if you just look at people, because they are always going for wealth. So, they are living just with Lopamula Chittas all around the world. So, let's try to avoid, not to be not included among these people. I think we can stop today. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now, what's the present?